Hey guys, Brad here with Custom Offsets. Got another episode of Lifts and Loads for you. This is going to be a rough country 5-inch kit for 07 to 13 GM 1500 SUVs. So Tahoe Suburban, Yukon, Yukon XL. This kit will fit them all. Start off up front, we got the optional N3 loaded struts. So that's a new thing that Rough Country is offering, is a fully loaded strut. In the past, they were just offering the strut and you'd have to swap over the factory spring, but now you got a whole complete assembly, which is much simpler and pretty nice for trucks this age because you can just swap the whole thing over. You get new springs and struts up front. This is where you're gonna get the lift from up front. And then of course we got our new knuckles here as well. These GM half-ton kits do increase track width. It's about 1.75 inches per side on the front. And because of that, then you got these CV axle spacers here as well. And then we got our lower control arm drop cross members, as you can see here, front and rear with the laser cut RC in them. As well in the front we got the skid plate. The skid plate of course is going to tie in between these two once that front diff gets dropped down, and that will happen here with our diff drop brackets, left and right side. Drop the front diff down, help with those CV axle angles. What else we got for the front? We got some sway bar drop brackets as well to drop the sway bar down, and that'll pretty much cover the front of the truck. In the rear of the truck on these SUV kits, Rough Country uses shock extensions, so you're actually reusing the factory shocks, but you're going to be using these new shock extensions. New coil springs to the rear, so there's no spacers for the rear for the springs. You're going to get complete replacement springs, which is a nice option. And then we got a track bar relocation bracket here. That's key as well. Drop that track bar down and help center the axle at the new lifted height. We got extended sway bar end links for the rear of the truck, so the sway bar will stay in place. You'll just use the extended links. And then some bump stop extensions for the rear. That's going to be these pieces here. Some hardware, of course, and then we got a few little brake line relocation brackets. So you don't need new brake lines or anything like that. You reuse the factory brake lines and pretty much just relocate them down on the frame a little bit, and that's about it. We're going to go ahead and install the kit, and then we'll check back in once it's installed. All right, guys, we got the Rough Country kit installed in the truck here, so we're going to run through the components as they're installed so you can kind of get an idea of how everything sits once it's all together here. So first things first, we got the new N3 struts up here. You'll notice it's a complete replacement strut, so no strut spacer, brand new springs, and the strut itself is all brand new. Got the new knuckles here as well. Remember, these knuckles do increase track width about 1.75 inches per side, so that's something to note too. It's pretty much all lift kits that have knuckles for these GM trucks will do so. Moving to the back here, we got our sway bar drop, so you can use the stock end links. It drops the bar down itself from the frame. Lower control arm drop, cross members front and rear, of course. And then another key piece would be this diff drop. Drop that diff down. You can see even with the truck at full droop, you know, it's pretty minor angles on the CVs here, no binding or anything like that. That's the whole point of dropping that differential down. It's a key piece to the puzzle here. Another nice thing is then you also got the skid plate, which ties in the front and rear cross member, ties everything together there, braces it up. A little nice feature there and adds some protection. And then you'll notice here some brake line extensions, so you're still using the factory hoses and the line. You simply space it out a bit here. And obviously the same thing on the other side. And that's going to be pretty much all the front components of the lift. We're going to move to the back now and check that out. All right, so in the back of the truck we got a bunch more components here. A little different than the traditional leaf spun truck, of course, as we got coil springs in the rear. So as you can see, we got the new Rough Country springs installed in the truck, the new sway bar end links. So the bar stays in the factory spot, but you get new end links. And then, as we mentioned before, you'll see it reuses the factory shocks, and they use this extension here for the shocks. So if you have a truck that maybe the rear shocks are a little worn out and you're getting this kit, it's probably a good idea to get some new shocks because these kits don't come with new shocks. Another key piece to this is going to be the track bar relocation bracket, which you can see installed here. It raises the track bar from the factory location, helps keep the track bar at a little bit lesser of an angle so it's flat when it's on the ground, and also keep that axle centered under the truck once it's in its new lifted height. And then the rest of the back components will be some more brake line extension brackets. You can see the one coming off the top of the diff here. Reuse the factory lines, just kind of bend the hard lines up a bit, and you're all good to go there. That's going to be it for the Rough Country kit install on this Yukon here. Peace.